Hello, everyone, and welcome back to At Home with Cyrus Webb. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again here on Amazon Live. Also, that is joining us where we're simulcasting through Facebook, through LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Glad you all could be with us as well. For those who are attending on the Amazon Live side, welcome to you guys. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button if you're not following us already here. We have programming here 6 days a week here now on Amazon Live, including our daily show here at Home with Cyrus Webb. You'll see that follow button either here in this corner or down below. Also, you will see in the carousel the products that we're going to be talking about today, and we have a great show for you guys today. This is a little different than what you guys have seen from us in the past, but today we're in another area of our home studio, and that is where I take care of the plants. And I think it's that time of year for everyone. If you are a plant lover, you have plants at your home, it is that time to be able to think about repotting. Maybe you're going to be getting new plants. I have you covered today, and thankfully, the product that has helped me, especially over the past 9 years, has been this product right here, and that is Miracle Grow. It is I think it's the star of today's show, really. And I'm going to be telling you guys about how Miracle Grow has been able to help me to keep these plants alive that you guys see around me. Also, we're going to be taking some new pots that I've gotten here. We're going to be repotting some things too. And this is a journey really that I never would have thought I'd be on myself. I'm not a person who ever thought of myself as having a green thumb, as they call it. Plants were never really something I was interested in. However, my grandmother, who raised me, she was really big into plants. And when she died, she had one plant that was living. And I had said to myself, almost now 9 years ago, I did not want the one plant she had left to die. So I went about then figuring out, okay, how can I keep this plant alive? And honestly, everything you guys see here, and even some that have now made itself to my mom's house, as well as to my cousins in Alabama, came from that one plant. So I'm going to tell you guys how I've been able to use Miracle Grow to be able to not only to keep the plants alive, but also keep them vibrant. As you can see, they're running all over the place, which is why I'm going to have to cut some of them back. We're going to repot some of them. I'm going to share with you guys some great way, if you have running plants like I do, a great way to be able to bring them so that they're not all over the place. So feel free. Again, today's a little different than we normally do here, but At Home with Cyrus Webb. But I'm excited about today's show because this is another thing that I do in my home, also in my home office. So I'm sure you guys can relate to this. If you have any questions about anything that's in our carousel, feel free to let me know. Literally, as you can see, everything is right here. So I'm excited about being able to share it with you guys today. So let me tell you again about Miracle Grow. So I noticed we're talking about almost 9 years ago when I began this plant life journey for myself. And one of the things that I heard consistently about Miracle Grow is that it's one of those things that can be a detriment to plants. They can attract gnats. So I was a little cautious at first when I went to Amazon. And because I use so much of this, I got the 2-pack. And the 2-pack right now is $12.59. We have it highlighted in the carousel. As you guys can see, I have it literally all over the place. I have a little bit left in this bag. I'm going to be using the rest of this and opening up a new bag. But you'll notice that Miracle Grow has definitely taken attention to the concerns. And this particular one says designed to be less prone to gnats. As you guys can see, they're right on the bag. So it is something that they've been able to address. I can honestly tell you, in the almost 9 years now I've been using Miracle Grow, I haven't had any problems when it comes to gnats or bugs or that kind of thing. So again, I've had only a good experience with it myself. So I'm excited about that. And I'm also glad about the fact that this has pretty much everything that you have, everything that you need for your plants. It says blended for a wide variety of container plants. And that's exactly what I've been able to have with the running plants. And also I got another plant from my mom that I've been able to mix in with mine so they could grow together. I'm going to be able to show you guys that as we are repotting today as well. So again, I'm excited about today's program because honestly, it's something I have to do anyway. And so I'm glad I could be able to share with you guys and answer any questions you guys have. If you guys are just starting with your own plant journey, if it's something you're going to be doing this year, I would love to be able to hear your thoughts, what you're doing for your plants. But again, Miracle Grow potting soil, that is what I use myself. As you can see, I use a lot of it, which is why, again, I get the 2-pack package there. Again, you get 2 of these bags, which is a really nice size bag. You get 2 of these for $12.59 is the price, okay? So that's what we're going to be using today. Another thing that I have here that I do use some, but thankfully, as you can see here, I do have windows here in this area of the home studio. One of the things that I also do have, though, is a grow light. Now, I got this for the corner, and you could actually see it here. Go ahead and let you guys see the top of it here. This is what the grow light looks like here. So I actually have a grow light as well. I have this in the corner for those plants that are on this side. So that is another thing that comes in handy as well. So maybe if you're in an area, you say, Cyrus, I want to be able to have plants, but I don't have suitable lighting. This grow light definitely comes in handy. And what is cool about it is it's able to be able to adjust. As you can see there, the ones are able to adjust on it. I'm going to move this back here so you guys can better see it. But the ones are able to adjust on the grow light, as you can see there, so that you can have the light going exactly where you need it. So again, I have this in the corner of my home office where I have plants going along this wall that may not get the type of sunlight that those that are on this side may get because of the window. So the grow light definitely comes in handy. The grow light right now is $23.99. Again, it's $23.99 for the grow light. Definitely worth it. And the cool thing is too, it has an easy on-off switch on it too, which makes it very easy for you to be able to turn it on and off. I will say this too, it is not meant to be on all day, so keep that in mind. So you'll want to know the plants that you actually are using it for to know exactly how much light they should be getting. So that would also help you when it comes to using, again, the grow light, but definitely does come in handy. Okay, the other thing I want to tell you guys about, you'll see some of my plants are actually in these flower pots that may look familiar for those that are marble fans, and that is Groot. You'll see there. So I have the 4-piece of the Groot, and you'll see I'm going to move this one carefully because that one has a plant in it. You can see there. So you get a 4-pack of these, and they all, as you can see, have different poses. That one has a little heart shape there. For $24.99. $24.99 is the price for that. Again, you get 4 of these. They each are going in their own directions. I have them literally around here. Here's another one here. You can move it easily there because, again, these are running all over the place. So you can see there, I have another one there. But, again, you do get 4 of those for $24.99. $24.99 for the Groot flower pots. And again, that's great for the smaller pots. When you have the running plants like I have, the only thing is you have to make sure that you're keeping those trimmed back. That's the only thing I would say to that. But they're cool to have, again, especially if you're a Groot fan. It's great to be able to have them. Now, I will say this too, because I've told you guys before on the broadcast, I love things that are multifunctional. These, if you'll notice when you click on the listing, you can also use these as pencil holders, pen holders, that kind of thing for your paintbrushes. So there's other uses too, maybe for your paper clips, thumbtacks, that kind of thing on your desk. It does have, just so you know, and this is one thing, the reason why I chose to get these and to use them for my plants. They do have a watering hole. So when you do, go ahead and water your plants, there's a hole in the back for drainage, which is really good. So the water doesn't settle on the bottom. It will come out. Now, because of that, I do have, you can see there, one of the holders there. I'm going to tell you guys more about those too, to be able to catch the excess water. I use those a lot, even for some of the pots that I'm showing you guys today that actually have their own pan. I still buy those large pans just to make sure I don't have water running all over the place. But again, the Groot is a really cool deal. Again, you get 4 of them for $24.99. Okay. For those that like planters, I think you're going to really like these. I'm going to be actually using these today for some of the plants we're going to be doing. But let me show you what's cool about these. These, again, are multifunctional. These are $25.66, but they definitely come in handy. So let me show you what they look like. You can be able to put your plant just directly inside to sit your pot down to have it as a decorative look there. But look at this. It actually has handles on it, so you can actually pull this up and set it in this way, which is how I'm going to do mine today. When we repot today, this is how I'm going to do mine. But again, you get these for $25.66. Really good material on these. I like the look of them too. A great way to be able to display your plants. Again, keep in mind these are meant for indoor, and the handles are not necessarily used for carrying. Keep that in mind. You can if the plant is not too heavy, of course, but that's really more of a decorative look for these. And again, these are the planters there, $25.66. All right, the other thing you're going to need, I know if you guys have plants already, you already know this, but you're definitely going to need some shears. I have my pruning shears here. They're $9.09. They come in different colors. You can get $9.09 for these. A great way to be to make sure that you're keeping your plants cut. I'm going to be using this to cut mine today, which makes it really easy for me. And again, what we're going to be doing is cutting some of these back, repotting them in some new pots. And I'm going to be showing you guys that, how I'm able to use Miracle-Gro and the instructions for the different pots, because we have different types we're going to be using today to make sure that the plants can continue to grow the way that they are today. Another thing that comes in handy that I use are these plastic holders. Now, I mentioned to you guys, I do use these all over the place. You'll notice them when I'm moving plants back and forth. Let me show you one here. And again, I have to be careful with some of these because, again, these plants are, right now, they're kind of running all over. Let me see. Oh, I think I may be able to get, can I get that one? No, I won't try to get that one. Let's try this one. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can show you on this one. So you get a pack of these. It's a 6-pack for $8.09. They're 47% off right now. But this is what they look like here. And so you're able to get 6 of these. And again, I put them, even though this particular pot has a holder to catch the actual drainage, as you can see there, I put this underneath it just in case I, human error, make a mistake and overwater it. I don't have water running all over the place. So again, I love this 6-pack here. Again, you get 6 of these. So these definitely come in handy. I buy lots of these for $8.99. I mean, I have over a dozen plants here right now. So they definitely do come in handy for me. Now, I was telling you guys about the pack that I use of the clear ones. And you get 12 of them for $16.99. This is what they look like. These are the 10-inch. You can see mine has gotten a lot of wear on it, which is a good thing. So I'm able to use these to put underneath the pots to make sure it's able to catch that excess water. And it definitely, again, keeps you from making a mess. So that's why I like these. But again, you get 12 of these, the 10-inch for $16.99. Now, for those who are just tuning in, you all are watching At Home with Cyrus Webb. You may notice things are a little different today. We're in a different part of the home studio because today you guys are going to be working with me as I am taking care of my plants. You guys can see I have over a dozen plants here in the home studio. I have this window here that allows them to get a lot of light, which means they do a lot of growing. So today we're going to be cutting some of them back, repotting them, all thanks to Miracle-Gro, as you guys see here. That's what we're going to be using for our potting mix for today. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about your own plants or anything you want to add, how you're taking care of your plants, let me know in the comment section. On all the platforms, we have the comment section open. We'll be glad to be able to hear from you. The next pots that we have here is a 2-pack that I got. They're $21.99. And this is a really nice set. Now, I mentioned to you guys that one of the plants that I have is one that I got from my mom. The running plant you guys see all around here is the one my grandmother had. This is a plant I got from my mom. And again, my mom gave me one little piece. And again, me taking care of it, it has grown all over the place. And we've taken some of this out of here, putting it in with some of my new plants. But this is what I wanted to show you was this pot. You get 2 of these pots here for $21.99. Hey, Melissa, good to be able to see you. Yes, Melissa, I'm actually on a little earlier. I have a 3 o'clock Eastern special VIP radio guest. So I wanted to make sure that I tend to go over. So I thought, you know what? I better go on a little bit early so that I don't miss. I still will probably be on over an hour, but I want to make sure I came on so I could get through all of this. We're repotting plants today, but these pots, I love these pots. I love the texture on these. As you can see, really nice texture. They are breakable, so keep that in mind. But you get 2 of them for $21.99. Again, you can see this plant's growing all over the place. I'm going to be taking some of it out and repotting it with another plant a little bit later in today's broadcast. So yeah, Melissa, we switched things up on you. Not only on a little bit earlier, but in a different part. Told you we're going to be switching things for you guys on the home studio side. So I'm excited you guys can be able to see what I've been working with outside of everything else, and that is being a plant daddy. All right, the next pots that we have here are a 6-inch. Again, you get 2 of these. These are ceramic pots here. Another cool deal. And you know what? They're already sold out, so I can't tell you guys about those. I can show them to you though, but they're already sold out, so you won't be able to get them yourself today. But this is what they look like. Move this over so you guys can see better. This is it here. And again, it's running all over the place too. But there, let's see if I can let you guys see it a little bit better there. But yeah, they are already sold out of this one. So see if you guys, oh yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. This is it here. So this one's already sold out, but this is a nice design too. I like it. You'll notice too, the other thing that I'm using is a wooden, over here, a wooden plant stand. That's what you guys see over on this side. This is from New England Stories. I like them a lot. This does have to be put together. It is $25.99, but you can see what I love about this. I'm going to move back so you guys can see it a little bit better. What I like about this plant stand is it has different tiers on it, so you can have plants going all the way down. You can be able to design it pretty much like you want it to, which is also cool, which means if you want this side to be taller, you can do that. This side can be lower. I love the design of it. And again, this is from New England Stories, one of these wooden plant stands here. And again, really nice material, real wood. And again, it's very easy to put together, though, again, for $25.99. All right, if you already have your pots and you're looking for some nice plant stands for them, you may like these next set. I just actually had one over here with this plant, but you get 4 of these for $26.99. I have some more of them over here. This is what they look like here. You get 4 of these for $26.99. This is nice to be able to give your plant an elevated look if you have it sitting on a desk or a table. I like the design of these as well. Let's see. Carmela, thank you so much for the follow on the Amazon Live side. Glad you could join us. Carmela, this is our At Home with Cyrus Webb segment here on Amazon Live. Today we're doing things a little bit different. Typically we're sharing with you guys some great items for the home and the office. But today, because I needed to replant some plants, I figured I'd bring you guys into the other side of the home studio where my plant children are, so you guys can see how I'm able to help them grow. Also, we're going to be repotting some. So Carmela, would love to know if you have any questions or anything, let me know. We do have programming here on Amazon Live 6 days a week, Carmela. So I'm glad you followed us so you can stay updated with the different shows that we have here. But again, this is our At Home with Cyrus Webb. Today, we're dealing with plants. Typically, though, we are dealing with things for the home and studio. But as I was saying for these, let me mention this too to you guys about these particular plant stands. They are metal, really nice designs. You can see there. And I think they fit really neat on the desk. You can see I have one there on my bookcase there that's holding that plant. But you can put them pretty much anywhere, even sitting on the floor. But again, it's $26.99 is the price for these. And again, you get 4 of those. We're going to do something a little bit different today with some of the plants. And again, like you guys can tell, I have a lot of running plants here. So what I've gotten is something that's pretty cool, and that is some stakes. So what we're going to be doing is actually staking some of our plants today, so that they can run up on these stakes. So let me go ahead and show you those. And this is a really affordable set. You get 50 of these for $7.98. $7.98. And this is what they look like. So this is a great way if you have, Jacob, hello to you. Good to be able to see you. If you have running plants, this is what they look like here. You have to be able just to stick them inside of the pot and let your plants run up on them. Again, we're going to be doing some of that today with the plants we're going to be repotting today. But again, you get 50 of these in the pack for $7.98. All right, our next item that we have in the carousel is the adjustable plant stands. Again, you'll notice we have a lot of different plant stands because, again, we have a lot of different plants. And I have them in different places. What I normally will do is this time of year, I'll group them all together where they can get the best sunlight. But I do have them all over. So it's good to be able to have different ways to be able to display them and to make sure they're able to get the lighting that they need. So let me tell you about this plant stand. You get 2 of these. And these do have to be assembled, but it's really easy to do. Again, you can tell I've been using mine a lot. But let me tell you what's cool about this. It's adjustable, but really what you're doing is just flipping it up or down. So once you connect it, you can have the plant here, If you want it sitting higher up, if you want it sitting lower, you turn it this way and the pot sits here. And then, of course, you'll see it's lower to the ground. So they're called adjustable. And the reason they're called adjustable is because you can be able to adjust the square that's here in the center. By taking the bolts, you can make it so that it's smaller. So if you do have a smaller plant, a smaller pot, you can be able to sit it there just by bringing these in. But again, you can have it so that the pot goes up top this way, or that it's higher up and that it's sitting this way. So either one, either way it works really well. Again, you get 2 of these for $19.75. $19.75 for these. And we'll be using these, so I'll be showing you actually the way that I'm able to use them. Now, these I typically honestly use on my front porch for my plants. Because where my front porch is, it does get good light there. So again, this time of year, as the weather's getting warmer, I will take some of the plants outside and actually have them out on the front porch. Others I'll keep in other areas. So it really just depends on where you normally keep your plants. But again, even if you don't have adequate sunlight and you still are looking for it to be able to grow some plants, the plant light that I showed you guys, the grow light, really does come in handy for that as well. All right, our next item, again, we have our upgraded plant rolling holders. They're $18.99. You get 2 of them. $18.99. Again, these have to be assembled, but very easy. All you're doing is snapping on the wheels. This is what they look like here. And this is real wood. Nice design here. Again, you get four of the wheels on the bottom of it here. And again, a great way to be able to have your plants. And these can be locked as well. So the wheels can lock. So you don't have to worry about them rolling all over the place. So you get 2 of these from Cuppet. Really nice design, again, to hold your pots for your plants. You get 2 of them, again, for $18.99. Okay. Again, today we are going to be doing some repotting, so that is coming up. I want to be able to show you guys some of the pots that we have here that I'm already using, and then show you some of the ones that I have too that we'll be using as well. Our next item that's in the carousel is our moss poles. Now, why these are good is that, again, when you have running plants like what I have, this is a great way to be able to keep them from going all over the place. You can have them running. Mine have been a little disobedient even to the moss pole, which is why I'm using the stakes today. So let me show you these. You get these for $14.92. You get 3 of them. But I'm going to show you this again so you can see how mine is kind of even overtaking the moss pole. So this is what the moss pole looks like, as you can tell right here. It sticks right inside of the pot, and then you're able to tie your plant onto it or have it so that it runs up on it. But you can see mine is definitely overtaken that as well. But again, this is what it looks like here. This is the moss pole here. You get 3 of them for $14.92. Okay. All right. Going to our next item here, and that is our hanging plants. So hanging potted plant holder. So let me tell you about these. They say they are for hanging plants, but you don't have to hang them. I'm debating whether I'm going to hang mine or not. I don't do a lot of hanging plants myself personally. If you like to be able to hang them to take up, so they take up less room on a space, they may be good. I really bought these because I like the size of the pots. That's why I bought these. You get 2 of them for $24.99. 2 of them for $24.99. They do have the chains with them, of course, to be able to hang them. But look at the size of them. That's what I liked about them. And I'm going to be actually using these today. I like the size of these pots. And again, you can be able to hang them, but you don't have to hang them. And so for myself, I'm debating whether I'm going to hang them or not. I'm definitely going to be using them today, but mainly because of the size. Again, look at the size of those. Again, you get 2 of them. There's 2 of them here for $24.99. But again, they do say hanging planters, but you do not have to hang them. You can do what you want. And again, I don't think I'm going to be hanging mine. I think I'm just going to be having them sit on the desk. So we're going to be doing that today. Again, because I like the size of them. And for me, I mean, that's really a big part of why I'm doing this, because my plants do grow a lot. And so it's good to be able to have the ability to be able to have a lot of room for them. I wanted to show you on this set. I have one that's already open. I want to show you guys what to expect when you get yours. So again, you get 2 of these pots here. And here is your chains. They're there on the bottom. So again, you don't have to use those. You get 2 of those, of course, because again, there's 2 pots. You don't have to use them, but if you do decide to hang them, I mean, you get what you need. For myself, though, like I said, I really got these because of the size. I like the size of the pots, and so that's why I got them for myself. Again, but it's a good price for these. These are plastic, though, so keep that in mind. Again, for $24.99. Okay, and actually the last thing in our carousel for today are gardening tools. And again, the things that you're going to need, the things that I use a lot of, that definitely come in the set here. You get your shovel. Also, of course, you get a fork. That definitely comes in handy when you're doing this kind of work. So that set that I have is $23.99. $23.99. That's the set for the tools we're going to be using here today. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. But again, the great thing, what we're going to be doing today is using Miracle-Gro to be able to repot some of these, put them in some larger pots. We also have, I didn't put them in the carousel, but I do have some self-watering pots as well. I didn't put them in the carousel, so I'm not going to bring those out. But if you do like the self-watering kind, I may add this to our next broadcast we're doing for these. That definitely will come in handy. So what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to use, let's go back in the carousel to our hanging plants. That's what we're going to use right now. I'm going to put this over here. Our hanging plant pots, that's what we're going to use for this. And again, like I always mention, for myself, I'm going to use the water saucers that I told you guys about, the 10-inch for these, and see it fits right on there. So that way I don't make a mess on my desk area, okay? All right, so as I said, again, I'm using the 2-pack of the hanging plant. That's $24.99 for these. And I have a little bit left. I had a little bit of Miracle-Gro left in a pot here. Let's see if I can find, yeah, here we go. And again, when I open one, if you're like me and you use a lot of these, when you open one, I go ahead and place another order. Again, I buy the 2-pack of these. Let me go ahead and highlight the Miracle-Gro again, because that was the first thing we talked about today. So again, the 2-pack is $12.59. But as you can see, these are some nice size bags. But for a pot like this, of course, it is going to take a good bit. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Go ahead and use the rest of what I have in here first, and then we're going to open up a new bag. Now, the way that I do mine is I fill it up halfway. Fill the pot up halfway. And again, depending on what type of a plant you have, that may vary a little bit for you. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and open up a new bag. And it does have there, you'll see the perforation there, to be able to use to be able to open that up. Or you can see it just snaps open that way. And again, what I love about Miracle-Gro, especially the one that I'm using here, which is the 2-pack, again, it has everything included in here. So it's blended for a wide variety of container plants. So keep that in mind. I don't add any other plant food to this. I'm going to let you see what it looks like here. That's what it looks like. So again, I have mine about halfway full there. And again, so I'm using the Miracle-Gro, and I'm using it in the hanging potted plants plant holder, and that is the 2-pack again for $24.99. Now, for me, the main thing that I wanted to do today is be able to cut some of this back, because again, they're growing all over the place. What I'm going to do is take some of this one. You guys can see this one is really getting out there. And what I'm using, again, using my pruners there. I'm just going to see where there's, And the cool thing about this running plant too, I'll show you this, it's easy to know where to cut and also what to put in the soil. And I'll show you that here in a second. I'm just seeing exactly where this one is running to because they've kind of married together here. Okay, so this is one here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one here. Okay. Now let me show you why I say this makes it easier. You see those little nodes there? That's what you know to put in the soil. You see that? So it makes it really easy to know where to be able to do it. So the way that I do mine, and everyone has a different way, but even I have the nodes here, you see there, the little ones there. I normally do mine in a circle inside of the soil. And that way, the roots are growing all the way around the actual pot instead of just in one area. So I wrap it around like that. And you can see it. You see how it wraps inside of the pot. And then all of that part goes inside the soil. And so this is what will be hanging out. And we're going to stake this part so it won't run all over the place. And this is always relaxing to me too. I don't know for you guys that do gardening or plants. Like my mom is into gardening. I don't do gardening. But this, even though it is work, is relaxing to me. I enjoy it. I'm going to need some more soil here. So I'm going to do is get some more of our potting mix here. Okay. And again, the main thing is to make sure that the nodes are underneath the soil. Put it there so you guys can see it. So that when it starts to grow, they're growing all the way around and not just in one place. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some water on these. And you can use whatever you like to, of course, for watering. I put mine in a kettle. And I also have some nice collapsible buckets that I got from Amazon as well that work really good too. And again, remember, I did put our clear dish underneath. So again, this is what I use underneath mine. Let's see, here it is, the 12-pack of the 10-inch disc that you get for $16.99. That way to keep the water from running. Nothing's running right now, but that's what I'm using right now for mine. Again, to make sure that water is not running all over the place. Okay. All right, the next thing we're going to do is, as I mentioned, we're going to stake this. And we're going to use our stake, which is our 50-pack stake. And I'm going to actually use, I'm going to use 2 of these on mine. And the reason I'm going to use 2 is because I can already tell the way I wrap this inside the pot, it'll be growing in a couple of different directions. So we have our first one there. And you'll see the pointed end, that's what goes in the soil there in your pot. Let's stick that there. Okay. All right, and that's our first one. So again, the main thing is with these, especially when you have a pot this large, just to make sure that it's, for one thing, your roots are going to be covered. Also make sure that initially you're giving it enough water. As expected, this soaked up a good bit of water because it's brand new. And still no water running out, so that's a good sign. Let you guys see. So that's what it looks like with the first pot. And that helps me too in being able to cut some of this back on this one. Okay. All right. So we're going to move this one over and we're going to go to our next one. Now, what I want to do for the next pot, and this is one of the things that sometimes happens, I want to be able to take some of mine that are in the groot because it's kind of become top heavy on my groot. So if you notice the way my groot is, see, it's about to, this is getting so long it's gonna turn over. So what I'm going to do is actually take this out of the groot, and I'm going to repot it into, again, one of the hanging pots along with some more. So let's go use the other one. So I'm going to go back in the carousel. Again, I'm using the second now of the hanging pots. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our Miracle-Gro. So you can see now why they sell it with 2 bags, because it takes a good bit, especially when you have a large pot. And again, I'm going to fill it about halfway. And remember, that was a full bag, so you can see it does take a lot, especially when it comes to these large pots. So we're going to take this out of the groot here. So there's the ball there. Going to take it out. And we're going to use our stakes again. You can see that's what, as I mentioned, the cool thing about these groots, though, it does have the drainage hole that's there. But this particular plant was just getting to be too heavy, I could tell, for this particular groot. I like the groot, but not for that particular plant. Okay. So we're going to put it inside, put the ball inside of this one. And again, thankfully, on the groot, as you'll notice, we also have our nodes there as well. So I can actually put this inside of the potting mix as well, because that will continue to grow. And then we're going to use our stakes for the rest. Hello to you, Shannon. Thank you so much for the follow. Shannon, if you've watched my program before, you may be saying this is totally different than what I typically do, and you're right. Shannon, today we're actually in the home studio. We're doing some repotting. Typically, I'm sharing with you guys some great ideas for your family and friends for the home or the home office. Today, though, because I needed to do some repotting, we're using Miracle-Gro to be able to repot using some great new pots that I have here, but also showing you guys some different ways to be able to take care of your plant. So if you have any questions, let me know. We do have other programming here, Shannon, if you're new. So you're not going to see me doing this every day. We are on here 6 days a week on Amazon. I also want to say hello to you guys tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I appreciate you all being with us. And again, today, the start of our broadcast is really Miracle-Gro, because that is what has helped me to be able to grow my plants the way that I have over the past 8 years. So I'm excited about that. So again, what I'm doing right now is I'm using, Shannon, I'm just coming in on my second hanging potted plant holder. There's a 2-pack for $24.99. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to even hang these, but I bought them because I like the size of them. The size of them is really good. I like that. So what I'm doing now is I'm repotting some of my other plants. And so I'm taking some of these that have been growing kind of wild and basically cutting them off and repotting them. So as you can see here, a lot of these have been growing. This is one that I could do. A lot of these have been growing pretty good. And so it's time for me to be able to cut them and to repot them. And the cool thing is I've been able to share these with, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, with some of my family in Alabama, as well as with my mom. My mom loves plants. And for those who missed the story, this all began for me because when my grandmother died in 2014, she had one plant that was living. And I decided that I did not want that one plant to die. And so that's what kind of got me started on this and taking care of that one plant. And that one plant has now grown into everything that you guys see here. So I'm real proud of that we did not let it die. But I'm excited, too, to be able to keep it alive by doing what I'm doing today. So what I'm doing right now, everyone, is I'm actually just cutting some of this off that you see because there's quite a bit. And I'm just making sure I'm watching for the nodes so I can be able to put those inside of the pot. Oh, this one has some good roots on it, so I think I'm going to take this one. Yeah, so let's see where this one goes. And again, these are another thing that's happened is because they've been growing so well, you can see, look at how long this has gotten. So I'm just going to cut this off here because this one has some good roots on it. I'm going to show you this. So see, this one has some really good roots on it that have been growing all on their own. So they've gone beyond nodes and actual roots. So I'm going to take it and put it inside of this particular pot. And the main thing is, again, to be able to keep the roots underneath the soil. And then what we're going to do is use our stakes that I showed you guys earlier to be able to stake it. And that'll kind of control the way it grows. Okay. So I'm just going to put it in a circle just like I did before. And then we're going to add some more of the potting mix on it. Okay. Let's add some more of our potting mix. And we use that whole bag on these 2 pots. But again, these are some larger pots. As you can tell, not all of my pots are this big, but these were some larger pots. Okay, that is good. All right, we can go ahead and put some water on these. And again, you can use whatever you'd like. I use this kettle for mine to water, but whatever is convenient for you. And we're going to use another one of our 10-inch drainers here. Let me go ahead and highlight those again for you guys. So again, you can see why these come in handy. Let's go ahead and highlight these for you guys. Let's see, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? There they are. You get a 12-pack of these of 10-inch for $16.99. Put this underneath here. Add some more water here. And I keep water pretty much all over the place because, again, I have plants lined up on this side as well as on the 2 stands that you guys see here. Let you guys see that. So you can see the main thing is to, so this one is, okay. So the main thing is just to make sure that you have the roots covered, as you can see there. And then what we're going to do is take our stakes. Probably going to use 2 of them on this. So again, we're going to use our stakes on this. And again, this is the 50-pack, which is why I like to get the larger pack because I do use a lot of these. And these are $7.98. That's 20% off right now. So again, we're going to stake this so they can run up on this. Some people tie those. I never tie them because actually once the soil settles, it'll be okay. So I don't tie mine, but you can. You can. I mean, if you feel more comfortable, you can tie it. But if you notice, I just stick it in. Okay, and we have this one I'm going to include in here as well. But the main thing is just to make sure, well, 2 things. To make sure that you use adequate water when you're first adding them into the new pot, and then making sure that the roots are covered. That's the important part. That's what's going to help them to grow and grow well. And that's what's helped me with these that you see around me here. And again, we're going to let this climb up on the stake here. Okay. So you can see that's what it looks like there. And again, you can tie these if you would like. You don't have to tie them. The main thing is just to make sure that once you pour your water in, you just pat down. If you notice, I was just patting down just to make sure. I do mine with my hands, but you can use the shovel as well in that kit that we have. But just to make sure that the potting soil is wet, and that will allow you, when you stick them, to make sure that they are able to go in okay. Okay, so we're able to use them. So again, the pots that we just used, you can see these definitely came in handy. This is the 2-pack of the hanging planters. And again, you get 2 of them. You get 2 of them for $24.99. This is what we just did right in front of you here. I'm going to go ahead, let's see. I'm going to add some more water to this one. And that's the main thing when you first pot them, just to make sure you do want the actual potting soil to be damp. And then that's going to help you too when you're making sure they're growing the way you want them to. I could actually put another piece inside of this one, which we may do. But this one, I like the way this one looks, so we're going to say this one is done. Let's see, we have looks like a couple of dead leaves there. We're going to go ahead and take those off. So what I think I'm going to do is take a piece of this one. See the nodes that are on this one? See, we can plant this one too. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one back. Let's see where this one goes. Okay, this is going to the Groot. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Actually, because you can see with the Groot, see how top heavy that's gotten and how it's growing into one side. I'm just going to take this out of the Groot, actually. So we're going to just take it out of the Groot completely. I'm just taking my finger here to just be able to loosen it. And then we're going to be able to pull. You can see there. See how our roots have been growing in there? So we're going to take this from the Groot and put it inside of this pot, because we have plenty of room actually in this pot here. So we're going to put it inside of here and cover that back up. And I will now use another one of our stakes. And see, this is why the stakes come in handy, which is why I always recommend getting the larger pack. So again, this is the 50 pack that I'm using here. For the 15 inch for $7.98. Again, you get 50 of them, but this is why it comes in handy. I should get a couple of more of those inside of there. And then the last thing we're going to do on today's broadcast is I'm going to show you how we can mix the two. So my mom likes to see the plant that she gave me mixed in with the one that I had from my grandmother. So what I'm going to do is just stick this, again, the stake on the stake end, stick it inside of here, like that. And then we're going to just move this around here like this. So that way, instead of growing out all out over the floor, it will grow up on the stake. And we're going to do one more on this side. Like that. Okay. And see, makes a very big difference, and we're able to clean up our Groot now, and we can use it even for smaller plants like we're going to do with the other one, or you can be able to use them, as I mentioned earlier, to hold your pencils, that kind of thing as well. So if you do like Groot, there are a lot of different ways you can use Groot. You don't have to use them for your plants. You can find other ways to use it. All right, for those who are just coming in, welcome. You all are watching At Home with Cyrus Webb, a very different broadcast than we've been doing. Today we're in the home studio. We are repotting some plants using Miracle-Gro. Miracle-Gro is something that I've been using now for the past 8 years, almost 9 years, for my plants. I started off with one plant, and I definitely have grown them since then. The last thing we're going to do on today's broadcast is take some of my mother's plant, which is in this pot. And we're going to marry it in with some of the ones that we actually just did. So the way I do it is similar to what I just showed you guys with the nodes. I'm just going to take some of it off. And as I said, even though this is a little bit of work, it definitely is relaxing. ESP Presents, hello to you. ESP Presents says, I kill rubber plants. ESP, it is relaxing and it is work. ESP Presents for sure. You missed it. We actually just potted these two right here. We're using Miracle Grow today. It's on a really good deal right here on Amazon. Right now, though, this is the plant. The plant you see here, Ellen, is a plant my grandmother had before she died. She had one plant left. And I said to myself, Cyrus, do not kill this plant. So that's when I started using Miracle Grow back in 2014. And now that one plant has grown into everything, Ellen, that you see right here. In fact, the original plant is over here in the corner. So what I'm doing now, this purple plant, running plant, is one my mother gave me. She grows plants as well. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking some of hers that she had, and I'm going to be marrying it with my plant so the two of them will grow together. Actually, I have this already happening in my living room where I have some of my potted plants as well. So the cool thing about these, Ellen, we also showed some different ways to be able to display your plants. So if you're looking for different types of plant holders, definitely there's some great ones here on Amazon. I have them in my carousel here, so you can look on the Amazon side. I'm just going to cut these at an angle is the way I do it to make it easier for it to, like that. And I'm just going to stick it inside of my existing plants here. And they will grow together. I tell people when you're, especially when you are grafting this way, just make sure you put it in about 3 inches inside of the soil. And that will make sure, see how this one is growing? I'm actually going to do it so both ends go like this. I'm going to do it on this side here. But that way they can grow together. Okay. And again, we're going to put it so that it goes up on our pole here that we put in. So we have these stakes that we have, so you can see how that one looks. We're going to have it grow with this one. We're going to do the same thing over here. Again, about 3 inches. And then I'm going to have it so it goes up on the stake here. And I can actually put another one in this one. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to cut another end off of this one. So there's a lot over here. I'll take this one here. Okay. Gonna take that. Okay, so ESP Presents says I have a, let's see. Gotta come a little closer, Ellen. Have a steam that has been faithful to the steam. I'm not going to put it in soil. It will probably not make it. You know, you'd be surprised. Seriously, I mean, when back in 2014, when I started on this again with my grandmother's plant, I didn't think I was going to be able to keep it alive because I've never done it before. But I think the main thing, Ellen, is to just make sure you start it off right. And so that's why, again, I like the Miracle Grow. I can't say enough good things about it. This isn't sponsored by them or anything, but I like the Miracle Grow because it has it's blended for indoor plants. So you don't have to worry about adding any other minerals or anything to it. All you do is use it like I'm doing today, and you're all set to go. And again, the proof speaks for itself. Again, everything you see here, everything over here came from that one plant. And so it definitely works, which is why I'm glad when I saw it was time for me to, and look at this one. See how this one has been run? Look at this, how this is running. So I really need to cut some of this off as well. So as I'm wrapping up here, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut some of this off, and I'm going to stake it. But you know what? We can just stake it. Let's see. Now we better cut it, because it's pretty long. I mean, it's long, as you can see here. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut this, and then we're going to stake it. So what I've learned to do, Ellen, is I just read. I just looked up things. I mean, it is amazing though how quickly, if you show them a little bit of attention, just like kids, they'll do right. So this has definitely worked for me. And so what I'm going to do is, you see, I cut some of this off. So what we're going to do now is put it inside of this plant. And we're going to stake it so that it grows up on that. And again, the note, see, it lets you know what to grow. You see that? Those are your root areas there. So all you have to do is make sure those are in the soil, and you're all set to go. So that's what we're doing, just putting those inside of the soil here. All right, so I hope you guys have enjoyed today's broadcast. Again, this is a little different than what we've been doing, but it is something that I have been needing to do. So this was a perfect reason to be able to get it done live on air. So again, this is a great way to use Miracle-Gro to not only to help you keep your plants alive and thriving, but also looking for some creative ways to be able to help them to continue to grow and give them the room they need to do it. Now, again, keep in mind, when you're using these smaller containers, just make sure you know that eventually you will have to move them, as you can see with me here. But the cool thing is being able to do it. We're going to go ahead and stake this. Have things like your stakes that you can be able to use. Ellen says, maybe I don't have enough oxygen. But hey, Ellen, give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. So we're going to wrap this around here. So that gives it something to grow on. And this way also, using these stakes, it's not running all over the floor either. Okay, just like that. All right, so that's been today's broadcast. Again, everything that we've been using today is in our carousel, so make sure you guys take a look. If you are a plant lover, you need some help with your plants, looking for some nice pots as well, some different varieties. We showed you what I have here, also some plant stands. And if you do not have enough light in your area, as I showed you guys, we have the grow lamp that's here. Again, it is $23.99 for the grow lamp. And that will be able to help you if you don't have enough lighting in a particular area. You can be able to use that. Thank you all so much again for watching At Home with Cyrus Webb today on Amazon Live. And looking forward to you guys being with us next time. You guys take care.